Digital transformation of the value chain is happening rapidly all around us across the globe, starting from healthcare to hospitality to aviation to manufacturing and service sectors. While you have smaller firms such as Uber and WeWork, which are completely changing the way we did business in that particular sector, larger firms such as IBM, Walmart, as well as De Beers are trying to change their business models, thereby optimizing their value chain. Now, there are a whole breadth of technologies that are helping firms achieve this. Artificial intelligence, data analytics, 3D printing, blockchains are some of these technologies that are enabling firms to make that change in their value chain, thereby optimizing the way they do their business. Given the amount of investment that firms have to make in these kinds of technologies, it is important to understand when and how firms should invest in these breakthrough technologies. And that has been the focus of my research over the last few years. Today, I will take some time to talk to you about this research on blockchains. So what is a blockchain? Fundamentally, blockchain is a set of blocks of data that are linked with each other, and that's why it's called a blockchain. Fundamentally, there are two major characteristics of a blockchain. First, once the data is entered into a blockchain, it is immutable. That means one cannot go and erase that data out. The second characteristic is that data in a blockchain is often distributed across multiple databases at multiple places. As a result, it's very hard for people to tamper with it. Finally, all this data is encrypted, and there is a lot of encryption technology that goes into it. Therefore, one could feel safe and secure about the data that is in a blockchain network. Now, blockchains have gotten a lot of attention in the financial technology or fintech world with digital currencies. But there has been a growing movement around usage of blockchains technology in optimizing the value chain. And here is where a lot of work is going on among big companies as to how they are adopting blockchains in their existing value chain to create complete transparency in the value chain. For an example, Starbucks recently announced that it is going to be coming up with a blockchain-based technology that is going to enable you as a consumer to get to know where that coffee is coming from. You take your iPhone or a smartphone, scan that code, and you're going to be able to see, okay, what was the path of this coffee bag? Where was it produced? When was it taken out of the plantation? When was it packaged? How long did it stay in the distribution center? And so on. Now, what does that do? It builds a lot of trust in the customer's mindset that, hey, this is a coffee that was grown in a proper manner, the fair trade environment, the farmers were paid the right amount, and so on, so on, and so forth. So the fundamental idea behind these innovations around blockchain implementation in the value chain is to create transparency and visibility, thereby optimizing the value chain, but also increasing the consumer confidence in the product that they're buying. While this is all great, in order to be able to use a blockchain of that type and to verify the authenticity of the product, consumers often have to reveal some information about themselves in order to get information from the value chain. And this you do through your smart app or your smartphone or something that you're releasing about your personal identity information, which now is in the hands of a company such as Starbucks that knows exactly where you are, where did you purchase this coffee bag from, etc., etc. Now, given the amount of news that we have around the negative impacts of sharing information and the privacy concerns that consumers have, it is not clear how much consumers might embrace such technology. Now, in industries where particularly there is a lot of counterfeits, there is a growing trend that is coming up, which is manufacturers are trying to adopt the blockchain technology in their product portfolios so that consumers can then scan on those products and know for sure that they're buying the right product. If you take the electronics industry, for example, roughly $160 billion of economic value is lost in the US because of counterfeit components. Similarly, the World Health Organization estimates that 10% of drugs that are sold in emerging world are fake. Now, in situations like that, there is an added incentive for the branded company to implement blockchain technology to combat counterfeiting. And this is the focus of one of our research projects, where we look at a manufacturer, which is a branded company, that is fighting the battle against a deceptive counterfeiter, which means another party that's selling products in the market that are counterfeit. And in those settings, we want to see, does it make sense for a branded firm to be implementing a blockchain-based anti-counterfeit technology given customer privacy concerns? What our research shows is that we can actually see regions or areas where the manufacturer should be adopting the blockchain technology over other methods. In addition, if these are goods that have public value or social welfare, such as drugs, the government might be interested in providing a subsidy to the manufacturing firm for implementing the blockchain technology. What our research shows that such an effort from the government can actually be more beneficial than trying to spend effort and money in trying to capture the counterfeiting party. Now, why this is very interesting is that the Indian government recently has started an initiative where they are subsidizing blockchain implementation in the pharmaceutical sector, whereby a consumer, when they're buying a product, would be able to scan the medicine code through their phone and then immediately verify the authenticity of the medicine. What our research seems to suggest is this is a great move from the government to subsidize such an initiative. Now, blockchain is just one technology with a high potential for disruption. There are other technologies such as 3D printing, robotics, machine learning that are going to provide abilities for firms to dramatically enhance the value that they're creating for their customers. In the upcoming decade, we're going to see very different business models that are going to be innovated with these technologies. And as consumers, we're going to have a lot more opportunities to enjoy the benefits from those. So it's going to be a fun ride in the next decade, and hopefully all of us will enjoy it. Thank you for listening.